Hi everyone, welcome to Tea for Lunch, a weekly show powered by Arcade Studios.
Each week we'll serve you top stories we're following in social media, entertainment, celebrity, and tech in 15 minutes or less. You can catch the show live on Instagram and TikTok Thursdays at about 12 p.m. Mountain Time, or at all podcast providers and YouTube on Fridays. We're your hosts this week, Mikenna.
And Morgan, and I'm on again. I've been on it a lot lately for someone who's meant to be behind the camera, but it's just wanted my 15 minutes, so here I am again. Thank you, welcome back.
Love it. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on, but I'm excited to be back this week.
Yeah.
We are taking place for Mike and Mitzi because they are in Vancouver this week, and we have major FOMO of
Oh my gosh.
team.
Yeah, if you're not following the Hello Arcade Instagram page, you really should be, because they are all, this is for our TikTok people and our listeners, but they are all doing takeovers right now. The team is going out. They're talking about a potential office getting set up in Vancouver. It's pretty exciting to watch.
It's so fun. I have the worst FOMO. I actually have FOMO so bad that I booked a spontaneous trip to go to Vancouver next week. So I'm coming. It worked.
And you're not the only one. Other team members are booking trips too. We do have a remote employee down there right now, and then one of our employees is moving down there as well. So there's a lot going on.
It's been a fun week, and yeah, we're here just taking over, so just
Yeah.
jump in. First story today, Pepsi has revealed a new brand identity this week. It's the company's first significant rebrand since 2008, throwback to the lowercase word mark and their smile-inspired global logo.
I wasn't into it.
It is their 12th ever logo since the company was founded in 1898. The rebrand is rolling out in North America this fall and worldwide in 2024. The biggest difference in the new logo is that the word mark Pepsi is now embedded in their globe logo, as it was in the 80s and 90s. But the rebrand is more than just their play on nostalgia. The branding integrates more of their color black into their identity, which was previously only associated with Pepsi Zero Sugar. What's interesting about this is that they're trying to build this. Pepsi CMO said they're trying to build their identity for the digital era, and including that black color as part of that. They want it to be adaptable for formats for streaming and Web3, and use more animation, and unlock the flexibility for Pepsi to move between the physical and digital spaces. What are your thoughts?
That's like a lot about a rebrand where they just like added text, but like I get there's more to it. So let's back up a little bit. I did some research on the original colors because I was just kind of curious. I thought they had to do with flavor. They do not. So the original red, white, and blue combo was to actually distinguish it from Coke and to show support for the US during World War II. So I do feel like as a pretty global brand, moving beyond that does make sense. I like that the text is on there. To me, the nostalgia play on the 90s makes sense. It's much more in line with the aesthetics of like what I think Gen Z would like. I was even looking at the smile logo and I was like, what is that?
I remember that. That's like, yeah, it was interesting. What I think is really cool is that Pepsi has realized that the sugar-free product is actually going to be like their dominant product in the market. And that is because they attribute that to Gen Z making less sugar-focused consumption choices.
True.
So yeah, they're putting their sugar-free at the forefront.
Yeah, and it's going to be like their most marketed version, which is interesting. I think it's like Pepsi's always been pretty dialed into like pop culture, and they're kind of like the youthful soda, I feel like. I mean, they've had some cancellations and things, so I don't know if they still have that vibe, but growing up it was always like Britney Spears is with Pepsi and everything, so I do feel like they've always tried to appeal to a younger demographic, and in my opinion Coke kind of appeals not like necessarily to older, but more of like a classic, like people who aren't really like looking for all that.
I feel like Pepsi is Coke's like cool younger sister.
Totally.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I think another really cool thing is that this is one of the first major like global brands I've seen that have this like rebrand focused on the digital market and the future.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what they're thinking about that and like what they couldn't have done with the old logo for that. Because to me, the old logo almost makes more sense for digital because it was like a little face.
Yeah, who knows?
Talking.
I don't know what the difference is. I didn't really lean into that in the interview, but I'll be interested to see what happens with it.
Yeah, I want to see what it's like to have Web3 soda. I haven't heard of like a food brand in there really, so Yeah, let us know what you think. I'll try it, I guess. I do like
I'll still
Pepsi.
drink it.
I think I'm a little more of a Coke gal. What are you?
100% Coke. I ordered a Coke at a restaurant last night, and they put it down. I took one sip. I was like, "This is Pepsi. This is Pepsi."
They do taste different. I totally agree. Our next story is about Levi's, and this one is, I think, one we have some mixed thoughts on. So Levi's is using AI to supplement humans and increase the diversity of their models. Earlier this week, Levi's and LalaLand.ai announced a strategic partnership that will use AI to create realistic avatars for the fashion brand to use in their web and marketing materials. The announcement was met with a lot of backlash, as I'm sure we can imagine. They claim that this partnership can potentially assist them in supplementing models and unlocking a future where we can enable customers to see our products on more models that look like themselves, creating a more personal and inclusive shopping experience. We'll pin that, we'll come back. The spokesperson claimed diversity is a top priority that they've been working on for the past year to make their content reflective of a broad customer base. Okay. But people on social media are sharing thoughts that this is actually a perfect example of diversity not equaling inclusion. People have expressed issues that they should be hiring humans, using models who do this as their career, rather than leaning on AI. And if the goal is really to have a more personal and inclusive shopping experience, why not use a range of diverse human models? Okay.
My first thought, and I'm very, very mixed on this, is I think brands are quick right now to jump in and be like, ooh, we're in the AI space.
Yes.
And I think this is an example of that not necessarily working out maybe with what they had in mind, because this backlash is so significant and it's on something like diversity and inclusion.
Yeah. To me, I can see this like meeting having gone one way, where it was like a group of people just being like, yes, this is the way. But if you had any person in that room who like had taken any DEI training or just like had worked in the modeling space, I think they would have immediately been like, okay, this doesn't really make sense. I get where they're going. Like, it is nice to go on a website and be able to see what an item would look like on your body, because so often there's just one type of body or it's like two sizes, but maybe you aren't either of those sizes and you can't really get something for yourself. But like even small brands hire a range of fit models and put like multiple people on their sites.
Yeah, I think the backlash is fair. It's a tough one.
I think like if I was gonna have an AI website for shopping, like I want it to be me. I don't want it to be someone else that they've like created. If they're gonna go that far, then like put my face on there, somehow like make my body proportions, like have me put in my measurements or something and like show me what I'm gonna look like, because that would help me.
Do you remember making like Mii's on Nintendo Wii that like look like you?
I think I'm too old.
Yeah, I'm sure AI could like lean into that and like we could make avatars that look like ourselves that plug in. Like I'm down for that, but admittedly using it to make it more diverse rather than hiring actual humans from marginalized groups, red flag.
Levi's, it's a red flag from us.
For our last story, we're going to talk about Twitter again. Earlier this week, Elon Musk announced that the For You page would only show accounts that have paid for verification. He went back on that statement after some backlash and said it will show unverified accounts if you previously or already followed them. RIP organic reach. That's what we got to say here. He's also asking everyone, even celebrities, to purchase verification, which is a step back from saying they would have like the grandfathered verification for celebrities. Many celebrities are speaking out, including 92-year-old William Shatner. Can't believe he's 92.
I just had to throw him in there.
we need his skincare routine. Who has already spent over a decade on the app creating content for free and is now upset at being asked to pay for it. There's also concern that paid verification could lead to even more fake accounts.
Yeah, so, okay. Twitter, what are we doing? And like, where did this come from? Because up until now, there's been so many talks about like how it's going to help prevent fake people and how you're going to get to see more people and this and that, but like this is to me making us into a bigger and bigger silo where you're only going to see like people who can afford it, who can pay for it, who get like a certain amount of reach. Like, it just feels like this isn't doing what I thought we were trying to do here at all.
I think that like rolling back on like the legacy verification and now asking people who were previously verified to start paying, to me signals like some money problems. I also think it's like weird that now you have to, from like a brand marketing perspective, there's this purchasing the API to be able to tweet. For me, that's like, how are we going to schedule tweets and send them out from brand accounts on like different marketing platforms we use for social media?
And then like for Twitter too, like part of when I used to use Twitter, part of the pull for Twitter was that you could follow celebrities and that there was like interesting people on there. And if those people are gonna have to now pay, and like maybe they won't pay and they're just not even gonna be on the app, like I think that's a detriment to them, because like I would go on there to follow a band for updates or like to follow a celebrity for updates. And I just can't see it happening. And I like William Shatner's comment about like, I'm on here creating content that benefits you. Like, this content benefits Twitter for people to want to go on there to follow him. And if he's going to be asked to pay now, leave William Shatner alone.
We'll see. I've already jumped off the TikTok boat. Not for me anymore.
Twitter?
But
the Twitter boat?
Yeah, sorry, the Twitter boat. I'm on the TikTok boat very much so. The Twitter boat is not really my place anymore.
All we can say is maybe Elon should have bought TikTok. I don't know. We'll see what happens next. It'll be interesting. Things seem to be evolving day to day with this one, and we'll keep you updated. But that's our show for today. Thanks for coming on, Mikenna.
Thanks.
And now that we've wet your palate, go eat something more substantial.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.